Picture this. It's 2007. The tech world is buzzing with new startups, each claiming they're the next big thing. Google's already eaten the internet, Facebook is busy monetizing our friendships, and Amazon is selling, well, everything. Meanwhile, two MIT nerds, Drew Houston and Arash Ferdowsi, are about to embark on an adventure that involves way too much code, late nights, and a problem so niche that most of us didn't even know we had it: syncing files across devices. Drew Houston, the mastermind behind Dropbox, got the idea for the company while on a bus. Yep, a bus. He was trying to work on his laptop, only to realize he had forgotten his USB stick. In true engineer fashion, instead of cursing his life choices and moving on, Drew decided, screw this, I'm building something better. So Drew started coding. He didn't know it yet, but he was about to create a tool that would eventually be used by over 700 million people worldwide. But first, he had to convince people that Dropbox wasn't just another Silicon Valley vanity project. Enter Y Combinator, the startup bootcamp for the ambitious and sleep-deprived. In 2007, Drew and Arash got into the program and pitched Dropbox. The catch? They needed to show it was something people actually wanted. So Drew made a demo video and posted it on Hacker News, a digital watering hole for tech geeks. And here's where things got interesting. Imagine a bunch of software engineers, each with the attention span of a caffeinated squirrel, suddenly realizing that Dropbox could save them from their daily file syncing nightmares. The reaction was instant. The demo video went viral, and Dropbox had over 70,000 signups before the product even existed. That's 70,000 potential customers, all without spending a single dime on marketing. That's the kind of ROI that makes venture capitalists drool. Now, let's talk money. You see, startups don't run on hopes and dreams. They run on cold, hard cash. In 2008, Dropbox raised $1.2 million in seed funding from Sequoia Capital. That's right, $1.2 million just to get the ball rolling. And trust me, it didn't stop there. By 2011, Dropbox raised another $250 million in Series B funding, bringing its valuation to $4 billion. To put that in perspective, they went from zero to a $4 billion valuation in just 4 years. But here's the catch. With more money comes more pressure. That kind of cash doesn't just buy fancy offices and ping-pong tables. It buys expectations. Expectations that you'll take over the world, or at least fend off competitors like Google Drive and Microsoft OneDrive. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Even with millions in the bank, Drew and Arash had to figure out how to make money. Sure, they had a free product that everyone loved, but free doesn't pay the bills. So they had to convince people to open their wallets and pay for extra storage. And you know what? It worked. By 2017, Dropbox was pulling in over $1 billion in annual revenue. Not bad for a company that started with a guy forgetting his USB stick. But let's rewind a bit to one of the most intense moments in Dropbox's history. When Drew Houston tried to cold email Steve Jobs. Yeah, the Steve Jobs. In 2009, Drew was hoping to partner with Apple or at least get their blessing. Instead, Jobs invited Drew to Apple's headquarters and, in classic Jobs fashion, basically said, "Nice product. We're gonna crush you." Jobs offered to buy Dropbox for $9 million, but Drew refused. $9 million. That's a lot of zeros to turn down. But Drew saw something bigger. He wasn't just building a product, he was building a company that would eventually be worth billions. From there, Dropbox skyrocketed. The company went from a scrappy little startup to a giant in the cloud storage industry. And by the time they went public in 2018, Dropbox was valued at over $10 billion. That's billion with a B. Drew's refusal to sell out early paid off in a way that only a few entrepreneurs ever get to experience. It's the kind of payday that turns garage startups into Silicon Valley legends. Dropbox didn't succeed just because they had a great product. They succeeded because they refused to quit. They kept pushing forward, even when the odds weren't in their favor. That's what separates the startups that make it from the ones that become footnotes in tech history. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about being too stubborn to let it stop you. And remember, my unsubscribed viewers, if you ever get too comfortable, just think of Dropbox. Because comfort never led to greatness.